guys and girls, this is Psycho Steve, and you're listening to Hair Today, Gone Tomorrow. Today is a very special day because I have a very special lady, extremely talented, has been playing music for quite some time now, and I got the chance to sit down with her and talk to her about her new album that just came out about a couple weeks ago. And we know her as Sister Mary, but we're not going to bring up the past. We're talking about the future. So we are going to be talking to Miss Pamela Moore. Good evening, good day, good morning, Miss Moore. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am very good for my age. Thank you for coming on my show. I very much appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes. So we want to talk about the new album. We're just going to cut right to it. The song, These Scars. Did you do most of the writing on this album?
The album is called Behind the Veil.
Right.
And the song that you're talking about, These Scars, was written, I co-write with a lot of different people. I wrote one song totally on the album called Just Breathe. These Scars, I work with a gentleman, I've been working with him for a while now, or writing with him for a while now. His name is Michael Posh, and he's from Chicago area. Cool. And he played with me on my own kind of version of a Pamela Moore band back then when I was still touring with Queensryche. And we kind of connected, and I wanted to try to write with them, and we did, and it worked out great. And so we had a album that came out in 2013 called Resurrect Me, and then again this new one where he and I wrote together on 6 songs on the album, and These Scars is one of them.
Wow, awesome. So besides him, do you have any other special guests on these albums?
Oh yeah, I sure do.
Awesome.
It's kind of a blessing for me to have been able to have the journey that I have. I've been able to meet a lot of different people. And so usually when I have something out, I'd love to bring in some of my friends. So I asked for drums on the album. I had a friend of mine named Casey Grillo who has been with Camelot. He worked with Camelot for a long time, and he's been actually filling in for Scott Glockenfield on drums of late. He just killed on the drums.
Awesome.
I also asked Rudy Sarzo to play on bass, and he did. It was so cool to have him on there. Just those guys together, it just really locked in. It was really nice and big and passionate and full. It was really cool.
Wow.
I have my old friend, Ralph Sheepers, who sings with Primal Fear. He used to be back from the Gamma Ray days. Amazing singer, amazing metal vocalist, really wonderful performer to watch. He sang with me again on this new one. He also sang with me on Resurrect Me. And then I also have my friend Randy Piper, who actually lives out in Washington State. And I called him up and said, "Hey, Randy, I need to have you come over and check out some stuff." So he actually played some lead kind of guitar stuff on a song called Slow Burn, and he also was my voice for a song called Beneath the Voodoo March. She was kind of like the voodoo high priestess guy. So,
wow. Wait a minute.
Album.
Is it Randy Piper? Yeah. Did he not play for Wasp?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Wow, I saw him perform.
Yep.
Yeah, and he also was and Sister, I think, and Steeler, maybe?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I really know what.
Wow, so you had some rock royalty play with you.
I'm sorry?
I said, that's pretty awesome. You had rock royalty play with you.
I know. It's a real blessing, I'm telling you. I'm a lucky girl. Not only to have people. I also have another friend of mine who also plays guitar in the band as well, along with Michael. And his name is Craig Church. And I asked him if we could do some writing together, and we came up with a couple of songs. And then there's a third song that he helped co-write with myself and another friend of mine named Tony. So I've got a real well-rounded band at the moment. It's pretty cool.
That's very, very awesome. Okay, so besides yourself, and I know you have a sister that's a musician, anyone else in your family were musicians?
Oh, yeah, there's a ton.
Okay.
Well, of some kind of artistic value, but I have a brother that sings jazz. I have a cousin that was on Broadway for a long time, and he still does a lot of acting. His name is Gregory Stone. I have another cousin that is the lead singer for Berlin. Her name is Terry Nunn, and she's been at it for a while, and she's doing really well.
Awesome.
Another cousin named Elliot Enders, who also played on the album for me, this new album for me. So I've got a lot of people in the business lately that are just, it's just kind of what we do. It must be in our DNA or something.
Sweet. So do you have a favorite place to perform?
A favorite place?
Yeah, like anywhere, because you've traveled pretty vastly, like pretty a lot of places,
Right.
Has there been a place that really sticks out? Like, you're like, wow.
Basically, any place that you get to perform and be in front of people that enjoy what you're doing is really a great place to be. I've always enjoyed going to Europe. It's really wonderful audiences there. They're very boisterous. It's almost like how they are out here when you watch a football game or something. They really show you their appreciation a lot, and that's a pretty neat thing. So I wouldn't say that I have any specific place, but it is really nice to go to Europe and see the sights and meet the people.
Nice.
It always makes me feel fortunate to be able to do that too. So it's pretty cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
All right. So here's a really off-the-wall question, because I told you I am Psycho Steve, so I have to ask this question. Do you sing in the shower?
I warm up in the shower.
Okay. Right on. Okay.
I warm up in the shower because it's a good place to warm up. So.
Right, absolutely. All right. So do you have a favorite song to sing to?
A favorite song to sing to?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, for warm-up stuff, too, I always kind of do weird things, but I really like singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Cool. Awesome song.
And Amazing Grace.
Okay.
Those are always like good ones to get your head voice all warmed up. But no, that's probably about it, maybe.
Gotcha.
Whatever's in front of me, I suppose.
Nice.
Those aren't really rock songs, but that's okay.
Nothing wrong with that. All right, so you've come from, like you said, a very musical family. Now, did you take vocal lessons? Did you always know you wanted to be a singer? Did you play an instrument first? Because I know you also played 2 instruments besides your vocal talent.
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
Yeah. When I was a little girl, my mom was into theater.
Okay.
And, we had to kind of tag along.
Right.
And what was cool about that is that being a little girl and being around theater and wearing costumes and lights and stuff, it was like playing pretend to like the umpteenth degree,
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I got kind of a bug to it, I was just like, wow, this is really cool. So I told my mom that I wanted to be an actress, and she said, well, that's cool, but you're going to have to learn how to dance, you're going to have to learn how to sing, you're going to have to learn how to do an instrument, because she was thinking, in the old school, you have to be fully, grounded, And so we were from a really poor family. We couldn't afford very many things. And I don't know what happened, but at some point I think I saved my babysitting money to buy an old upright piano that was in the little tiny theater that she would do her plays at. And then I ended up with a guitar, and the guitar was had really high action, and it was really uncomfortable to play. And so my parents decided, well, she still wants to do this, so let's get her a guitar. And so I never really took lessons, though. One time when I took lessons, I remember my mom taking me there, and I sat through the whole half hour waiting for the guy, and I guess he was at the bar. So Mom didn't want to do that anymore, so I ended up learning how to play on my own.
Wow.
And I certainly play by ear mostly. I'm actually just starting to take lessons now to understand a little bit more. But it was all pretty much feel, and I think that me learning that way probably also opened me up into learning how to come up with songs, because I didn't know how to actually play songs, because I didn't really know what I was playing, right?
Yeah.
So I'd come up with interesting, like, ideas or different chord structures, and just come up and start writing songs. So I think that's what was the birth of me writing and getting into, the music part of it. But I was a pretty shy little girl, so when I had to play in front of people, I just kind of closed my eyes and just played as much as I could. Played my heart out.
Right on.
Because I was so scared. But I think it really helped me in that respect. And that might have been also to, like, how I developed my writing chops, probably. So, but I do, like I said, there's people that play better than I do, but, it's adequate, and it helps out. So there you go.
Sweet. So if you could perform with any band or solo artist, live or dead, who would it be and why? Any
band or solo artist?
Yes.
Who would it be? It kind of broke my heart, but the one person that I really wanted to be able to work with was Chris Cornell. He was somebody that I thought was just an amazing singer. And I always wanted to have some kind of, be able to sing with him or open up for them or something. Kind of a different kind of genre, but still, his writing and his vocal prowess was just amazing. So I really, really loved that. As far as, working with people and opening up, it'd be great to be able to work with, like, Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm. Maybe some of the people that are out in Europe, too. That would be really fun.
Cool.
But I enjoy working with a lot of different types of people, too. It's just kind of what would work with the genre of music that I'm playing right now, and what would, be a good pairing up, so to speak,
Right on. Since you live in Washington State and everything, did you ever run into, like, Chris or anybody?
Yeah, there's an awful lot of people that live out here, but I think I have, of course, run into the, Pamelas Sisters, and with Chris, the only time that I actually met him was when he was opening up, when they were Soundgarden, way back, like, 25 years ago. And they were opening up for Guns N' Roses at Madison Square Garden.
You were at that show as well?
Huh?
I was at that show as well.
Were you really?
Yes.
That was pretty cool.
That was very, very cool.
I remember that the band, of course, Axl Rose was late. He kind of has that thing that happened with him, but they didn't really start on time. But I remember watching Chris, like, climb up these big, huge, PA boxes and stuff, and I was like, wow, this guy, he's crazy. He's still singing. It was awesome. I loved that show, though. It was pretty fun.
That was definitely one of my favorite shows of all time.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Small world. Okay, so
I know, right?
So I'm a bit of a car enthusiast as well. So what kind of car do you drive?
I have two.
Oh, okay.
I have, because here in Washington State, you kind of have to have an all-weather car.
Okay.
There's a lot of hills, and it rains and snows, and sometimes it's sunny.
Right.
So I have an old, I've had it ever since, a 1999 Isuzu Rodeo LS.
Right on.
And it's still running. It has 190,000 miles on it, and I love it. And then I also have an Infiniti. It's a G37 T-top. It's, like, fully loaded.
Nice.
Pretty fun. That's my luxury sports car that I ride when it's nice out. So usually it's only about, 2 or 3 months of the year to ride it.
Right on. So what's in your CD player right now?
Behind the veil.
That's so funny, because you're the second artist that I asked that, because I actually just interviewed Michael Sweet of Striper a couple weeks ago. And because, like I said, I'm a bit of a car enthusiast. I used to be in the car business and everything, and I'm very good talking to people. And if you can't tell, I have a gift of gab. So I went into the car business for a little bit. So I asked him the same question about, like, what CD's in his car right now. And he told me, believe it or not, it was his new album. And I want to know why you have it, because I think it's the same reason why he has it, and most artists put their newest or latest album or song that they've recorded in their CD player. So why did you have yours in there?
The reason why I have mine in there is I have to memorize my lyrics for the show.
Oh, okay. That's a good reason. All right.
I haven't listened to it for a while.
Okay.
It was pressed and everything, and so we're getting ready for this show, and I know this sounds stupid, but I can't remember some of my lyrics, so I'm having to listen to the song and to remember how it all went. So that's the one reason.
Okay.
That's the one reason. The other thing is, just to kind of get an idea of how it all, comes about, and kind of thinking. I guess I'm trying to think of other things that I could do as far as videos, because we just shot a video a couple weeks ago. It's in production, post-production right now.
Right.
I'm really excited about it. It's a song off the album called Wi-Fi Zombie. And the song is kind of this, it touches on the ridiculous obsession that we have with our phones and our electronics, and the fact that it really has become a problem. And so I have kind of a dark, humorous, but very in-your-face type of idea about what we should really be doing. We should be putting it down. So we did this thing, and I wanted to be a zombie, but that didn't happen. I've always liked zombie movies. So I'm really excited about how it's going to turn out. I saw the first draft, and so we're going to be working on it some more and hopefully have it done in a few more weeks. But that's the other thing, too, is that I'm listening to the songs and not, more trying to memorize my lyrics, but also figure out what the songs would be kind of cool to do for a video.
Cool.
So, yeah, that's the reason.
Okay. So, speaking of your up-and-coming, your release party and up-and-coming dates and stuff like that, are we just going to hear all from this album, or are we going to hear from previous albums? Any covers you throw in the mix, or?
Well, actually, what we're going to do is we're playing Behind the Veil,
right,
in its entirety.
Awesome.
So we're playing it from top to bottom, and it's really kind of cool because it flows really well, and so it flows really well live. I think we made one little change so that our guitars, we wouldn't have to change guitars that much, but that's pretty cool. And then we do have an encore.
Okay.
And we're not going to include a cover, but we're going to include a song from each of the other albums that I have out. One out of, I'm not going to say what it is, but one off of Resurrect Me, and then the other one off of my Blue Room album, which is a bit different album than Resurrect Me and Behind the Veil. But the live version just hit. So I'm pretty excited about it. I think it'll sound really good. Sweet.
Okay. So, did you always know you wanted to be a singer?
I always wanted to be an actress.
Oh, okay.
And then it just kind of evolved.
Okay.
To be a singer. And I never was, like I said earlier, I wasn't from a really affluent family. We didn't have a lot of money, and so I never really took lessons.
Right.
I didn't start taking lessons until I turned 30 or something, and then to learn a little bit more about my voice, because I wasn't taking care of myself at the beginning, and I didn't have much of a range, and I was having trouble with my throat, and talked to doctors, and they said, you got to be careful here because you're on your way to having some nodule problems. And so I really sat back and said, okay, I'm going to have to figure this out. And so I did, and really worked on it for a period of a bunch of years. But after that, I think I have a pretty good handle on what's happening. Singing is really weird because it's not like picking up a guitar and learning, the notes on the frets and playing certain things and changing your strings. You have to really be good to your body. You have to take care of your body.
Right.
You have to understand about breathing because it's your instrument.
Right.
You know, if the guitar doesn't feel right for you to play, you can throw it out or give it to somebody else and get something else. You can also change strings if it starts sounding dull. You can't do that with your vocal cords. So you have to really understand that. And it really took me a long time to kind of even go there. But I really did want to know what I was doing and make myself feel like I could, you know, accomplish certain things to be a certain level of a singer.
Right on.
It did take me a really long time, and I can tell you that, you know, your whole life you're going to learn things about yourself, and your body changes and stuff like that too. So, yeah, I think I always did, or at least developed into that, you know.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you do on your free time? Do you like to shop? Do you like to cook? Do you like to garden?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of free time.
Okay.
I do, and it's nice out. I really like to garden. I really like digging my hands in the dirt. I feel like that's kind of religious in a way. It just is cool because then you get to see things grow, and you know, it's really pretty. It looks really good. So I like being outdoors.
So do you have a garden or flowers?
I'm sorry?
I said, do you grow vegetables or garden or flowers, or what's your thing?
I like flowers. I'm not really much of a garden. Like, I don't grow like vegetables or anything. I like to cook, but I don't ever have a lot of time to cook, and I feel like that takes a lot of time. I like someone else to cook. But I really love flowers. I love putting shrubbery around, and you know, annuals and having perennials and cutting back stuff. It's really good activity for a person to be outside and just do that, and then enjoy the fruits of your labor, so to speak.
Absolutely.
I also have a little puppy dog that I adopted about 6 years ago.
Awesome.
He's older now, but his name is Theodore. I call him Teddy.
Awesome.
He's a little Lhasa Apso, and we go for walks, and he's kind of like, you know, I'm his slave, basically. I do whatever he beckons me to do, basically. But he's a really good little dog, and he's our good companion. He's a good guy.
Cool. Do you bring him on the road with you?
I have taken him to specific gigs, but not all the time, because I'm always like so worried. Oh no, how's Ted? So usually he has a nanny that he goes to. Wow. Yeah, I know.
Your four-legged son, huh?
Yeah, basically, because I don't have children of my own. So
Gotcha.
He's been my son.
I adopted a dog from a shelter in Harlem. His name is Dime. We call him Dime, but his full name is Dimebag Darrell. He's a Chihuahua Pug mix, everything. So he's quite cute, but he's a little bit of a jerk. But you know, and we also have a cat.
Teddy's really chill.
Huh.
We don't have any other animals here. He's really chill. I also give vocal lessons. I'm a vocal and performance coach.
Awesome.
And I also, you know, work with people that are auditioning for like The Voice or American Idol. And Teddy is always with me, and he's a really good icebreaker. He, you know.
Nice.
So he's with me on that stuff too. He's a good therapist, I think.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, do you speak any other languages besides English?
I tried my hand at German.
Gotcha. So
because of my friend Ralph and stuff too, but you know, I haven't done it for about 2 or 3 years, and when you don't do it, it kind of goes away. So I need to get back into it. Actually, it was pretty cool. Actually, I liked it.
Okay. Would you ever consider singing a song in German?
That would be cool.
I think that would be really cool. You cross over and do like a duet maybe with Ralph and you in German.
Oh, that'd be really cool. I never thought of that.
Cool.
I'd have to get better at it. Of course, he would help me.
Of course.
He would help me with my dialect, of course, you know. I remember when I toured with them in like 2009 and 2010 for just a short time. And I remember, you know, most of their crew and everybody spoke German. And I remember listening to them, and it got to the point where I could understand what they were saying. but I couldn't speak back to them.
Yeah, it's a hard language to learn.
I used that Rosetta Stone, and it really helped you understand what, you understand and familiarize yourself with, words and sentences and stuff. But to have to answer back, I was like, oh my God, I can't even answer back. So I just answer back in, English. So I was like, okay.
And they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I remember when I met Doro Pesch years ago, and when I also met Klaus Meiner of the Scorpions, I only knew one German joke, and I was like, Klaus, Doro, what do you call a German virgin? And they're like, what? And I'm like, Guten Tag. And they're like, and she just rolled her eyes, gave me a hug, and she said, it's going to be okay, psycho. And and Klaus just laughed, and he's just like, have you been drinking? So yeah, that's what I wasn't a dad then, so I couldn't use the excuse, that, dad humor, come on. So
I know. And that's one person that I've been so close to meeting, and I've never met her before. I've been told she's just a delightful person. She's a really wonderful person.
Beyond. Yes, very, very sweet lady. So,
yeah, that's amazing.
Yes. Okay, so how about this? If you didn't become because you said you were thinking about doing acting, but if you didn't do the acting thing or the singing thing, did you have other aspiring plans, any career aspirations to do something else?
God, it's always been... Music has always been something. I've always had like day jobs, working in the office or something,
right,
while I did my time jobs. But I do have a bucket list, but it's still kind of the acting thing. I've always wanted to be the voice of a cartoon character.
Okay, cool. Like a Disney movie.
Yeah, just any kind of movie. But of course, all the stars get all the best things. But it'd be just so cool to have. To be a voice of like this cartoon. I think that would be so much fun.
Yeah, it would be really cool.
Yeah, I thought that would be neat. Trying anything else? I don't know. It's just always been, it's just always been kind of like acting or theater or music stuff, Although, there's been times when I did quit for a while too, in between, just because you need to kind of find your bearings again, so
right,
to speak. But it's always kind of drawn me in. It's never been something that, I don't know. Whenever there was something that was going on and I wasn't doing anything, it always brought me in on different projects, like say with Queensryche or something, getting asked back to do some tours with them or something. But I think that followed the path I was supposed to as far as my career.
Right on. Okay.
It's been therapy for me, that's for sure.
That's fantastic. Speaking of touring and everything like that, and you've come across all these musicians, and you said that you've had almost got a chance to meet Doro. Has there been a time that you have met an artist that you have got starstruck about?
Well, can I tell you a funny story?
Please do.
I do have to tell you that the one person that I was a little starstruck about was when I was performing with Queensryche at Nokia Theater. I think it's called the Gibson now or something, and it's in Anaheim or it's in LA. And we were touring, and we were doing the Operation Mindcrime 1 and 2 tour.
Okay.
And on Operation Mindcrime 2, Ronnie James Dio does duets and stuff. And I found out when we got there that he was going to come up on stage and sing the duet, which was a rare occasion. And, he did it. He came up and sang his heart out. He was just like this little guy with this huge voice. And that's actually when I met Rudy Sarzo, too. And Rudy brought us in so we could, brought me in so I could meet Ronnie. What a wonderful person he was.
Absolutely.
He was very, very engaging, very kind, and Rudy had said that he was always that way. he would be at the bus and he would talk to the last person that was waiting for him.
Yes.
And that's something to talk about, the fact that he was a huge legend and a huge personality, and to know that he gave that much to his audiences and to his fans is a very give back type of thing, really.
Right.
So that was a huge thing. But there was this one time, I've told this story before, but one time when we were playing in Europe, and we were playing at some festival, and there was this gentleman that came up. I was standing next to Jeff. There was this gentleman that walked up, and he had this cowboy outfit on, and I thought I remembered that it was white, but maybe it wasn't white. And it had those cowboy coat with the tassels, the long tassels, and he had these boots, and they were tucked. He had his leather pants tucked into his boots, and I'm telling you, I don't know if you know who Urkel is from the old sitcoms.
Yeah, Family Matters.
They had their pants up really high like Urkel, and I'm looking at him, and he had this beard and stuff, and he goes up to Jeff, he goes, "Jeff, how are you?" And he's talking to him, and I'm just staring at him in awe, looking at this outfit, and just going, who is this person? And he leaves, he talks to Jeff a while, and he leaves, and I went to Jeff, I go, "Jeff, who is that?" And he goes, "Oh, you don't know Lemmy Toolmeister?" And I go, Lemmy? I couldn't believe it. I was like, seriously? And I just started laughing. I went, oh my God, that's so funny. Because I didn't recognize him. He never wears outfits like that. He always had his jeans or something on and his, vest. It was crazy, but God bless him. That guy, he was amazing too. He was all, what you see is what you get, and I really like that about people. I like the fact that people are, true to themselves, and what you see is what you get is the best thing.
Very true.
Yeah.
All right. You mentioned about you giving vocal lessons and everything, and I know you're pressed for time, so a couple more questions and I'll let you go. What can we promote besides the new album? What is in the near future for you, as far as are you writing a book? Can we see a wine come out? Can we see something about gardening?
Mr. Mary Gardens, I know.
There you go.
Actually, there has been talk about discussion. People are trying to get me to talk about a book, and I've been thinking about how I would write that,
Right.
A lot of my experiences have been on tour with Queen Drake, so I'm not sure about all of that, I have been doing some seminars. I've got a workshop that's coming up in July with an organization called Live It Out Loud, and it's a summer school type of organization that, promotes kids and encourages them to get into the music, field and kind of experience being on stage and playing with different people. And I've done it a couple of years now, and they've asked me to come back. So that is always a lot of fun, too. I also did that one time when I performed on the Ashes and Anchors cruise a couple of years ago. They had me do a couple of workshops as well. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
So whether those come to fruition or not, I don't know. I will be doing the clinic in July, but I will be doing some shows this year as well. We've got management is working on some dates and stuff for us to start probably in July or June or July, sometime there. So I will be doing some shows.
Awesome.
And that'll be cool too, because I wasn't able to do much. My mother passed away in 2016 during the whole making of the album, so it was a little bit rough for me because I was really close to my mom.
Gotcha. I'm very sorry.
But I'm ready to get out there and do it, and I'll be ready for the party, and the band is sounding great. I've got a drummer. I don't have Casey. I wanted to have Casey and Rudy, but they all have other commitments. So I've got a drummer named Marco Vica from Brazil, and he's playing. He's doing a great job. And I also have Bobby Firkovich, who's playing bass. He played with me before. He was originally my bass player until he got really busy with some other stuff. And then, of course, Craig Church and Michael Tosh, who's been with me for a while, too. So the band's sounding great. I'm really excited about getting out again and seeing everybody, and I'm excited about how the album has been accepted so far, and we'll just see what happens. We'll see,
Great.
where the cards fall. Yeah.
Awesome. So let's plug your website and all other forms of social media that you're on so people know where to find you, how to say hi to you, besides me bothering you on Facebook,
No, you don't bother me. Well, you can always go to PamelaMoore.net, and you'll see me there, and there'll be news. I'm also on Facebook. I have 2 personal pages, and I have my music page. I'm also on Twitter at Pammy Moore. I think I have Instagram. I have all these things, and I can't keep up with them. I have got somebody to help me all the time on it. But if people are looking for me, they know how to get me, especially through Facebook or PamelaMoore.net. That's the best way to do it. Right. And if you're wanting to get a hold of the album, it's actually available download. You also can get physical copies through my store. You can get them through CD Baby or Amazon. I mean, it's all over the place, so you should be able to get one. If you can't, you got to let me know.
Awesome. So now, if we go on your website and order it through there, would you autograph it for us?
There's actually a store that I have through Tin Man Merchandising, and that's autographed.
Right on.
And then through my store, it's just the problem for me autographing is I can't promise that I'll be around to be able to do that.
Gotcha.
So I have them already pre-autographed for this one company, Tin Man, who has my T-shirts and stuff available. It's tinmanmerchandising.com.
Yes.
And they have them there, so you know it's authentic.
Awesome.
I don't mind signing them. It's just that I hate having people buy something and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, where is she? Why can't she sign it? Well, she's on the road, so she doesn't have any way of getting to it. So that would work for sure. And then, of course, if you come to one of my shows, I would love to sign it for you. That would be my pleasure.
Well, I talked to your manager this afternoon, and I told him that I am going to see if I can get you some dates over here in the East Coast. So. Oh yeah. So, because we would.
I love the East Coast. I used to live over there actually, early '90s, and I really enjoyed it. So
cool. Where did you live in the East Coast?
I lived in Manhattan.
Cool.
Down kind of near Hell's Kitchen.
Right on.
And I was living in Long Island. I was working with a band way back then called Radar, which was they were fairly well known. I think probably in Long Island and stuff too. And I was working with them kind of in between when I was working with Queensryche when I first started. And it was pretty fun. We put out an album that was out, I think it was 2000 something, 2001 or something like that. But I loved it. I loved living out there. It was really fun, actually. It was a faster pace than what Seattle was at the time. So I had a big learning curve and a big growing experience when I was out there.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the opportunity to speak to me. I really appreciate it. And like I said, if you guys want to see Pamela perform, please, go on her website and everything and go to contact us. And I'm sure her management will do whatever they can within reason to get her to play, and maybe she'll do, Jack or Charlie's bar mitzvah. I'm kidding.
Who knows?
Yeah.
How much you think?
Right on. Okay.
And it's been a pleasure talking to you, Steve. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and good luck to you as well.
Thank you so much.